How we doing, everybody, and welcome back to the Catalyst, where we break down all things bullish in the crypto markets. Today we have another update on AMP. No necessarily news or anything regarding AMP, but I figured I'd do a little bit of a price prediction video considering the market is down quite a bit. So today I believe the market went down about 4 or 5% total. We'll check on the total health of the market in a second here. But we see here our market cap for AMP alone went down 4.94%. We also see, though, interesting fact, volume is increasing. So obviously volume is also tied to the sell-offs that occurred as well. But just an interesting little statistic there. Again, transactions over 100,000. They've actually calmed down a little bit with some more steady stuff, as opposed to a few days ago where it hit at 261, and we're still hitting the 88% of large holders. So nothing too crazy for AMP in general. Obviously the whole market, 4.2%. We're down under 3 trillion. A lot of news out today in terms of inflation, in terms of stuff happening in China. And also like tech stocks and stuff like that have started to pull back a bit. They were a bit overextended with like the Tesla sell-off, with Elon Musk selling 10% of his shares, etc. All that stuff kind of, came to fruition and is what's leading the market down a bit today. So let's look at AMP. So this is a chart I've had for a few days. I've mentioned it in the last couple of videos, I believe, regarding AMP. And I've kind of circled this point here where we see a lot of like confluence of different support lines. We see we're riding this trend line up here. We have a potential fib level as well that we could test. On top of that, we have the EMA level here on the daily. So that's the 20 EMA as well. So we have all three of those things coming into one moment here. I believe I mentioned it 4 or 5 days ago, maybe after this last green candle, saying we'd see some sort of pullback potentially to this point exactly. You also see here as well, if we zoom in a bit further, we wicked down almost exactly to the EMA, and we actually got rejected on those. So that's very good and bullish news for us. We do have our golden cross back here, as well as our other golden cross here as well, and we're actually about to get one for our 55 crossing the 100 should happen shortly over the next couple days. So I would expect I'm going to post this video as soon as I'm done recording it, but some point tomorrow or the next day we would likely see a pretty big green candle coming off of all of these support lines here. If we don't and we slip through this support, there's potential chance to kind of continue down further. Maybe we will find some support along this giant descending wedge here. Hopefully, though, we'll continue to ride this line here. We've tested it quite a few times. We've extended, got faked out a bit, loaded back up, and have accumulated. It also kind of calmed down our RSI, which is nice. So there's plenty of room for some growth now. We're sitting at approximately 54%. So we have plenty of room to kind of rip up a bit, hopefully break these key resistance levels. You see here, we got stopped pretty hard twice, actually, in consecutive days. We wicked out of them, but we got rejected at the candle. So hopefully, like I said, we can have a nice bounce off of this. I think what's going to happen is the whole market was at a discount today. I think people will start to scoop that up tomorrow morning or over the next 2 or 3 days or so by the weekend. We could forget about this dip by Friday for all we know. The other thing that's, I think, important to mention is if I told you on October 28th, so approximately 2 weeks ago, that AMP was going to be, 38% higher than it is now, you guys would have been very excited for that type of call out. So keep that in mind. Yes, we did rip up about 100% if you sold at the top wick there, you were able to get out, but we are still up 40%, and we have a lot of support here. Hopefully we have continued increased volume, which will help kind of accelerate us out of this and find some further support along this trend line. So that is all I got for AMP today. Hopefully this was pretty informative. This might be one of the last times maybe that we see a major pullback, at least for the month of November. It could be a good time to load up, especially if you see some confirmation. So if you see some green candles on here, it might be good to load up your bags a bit more if you haven't already. Buy the dip. The bull run is not over. We do not have any major signs of that just yet. So we are still green lit for a continued bull cycle. So I would just keep that stuff in mind. And again, set some of this stuff on your own charts as well, if you do any of that, and just find out your own preferred entry point. For me, this seems like a really discounted price, considering we were up as high as almost 9 cents the other day, and we are about half that right now. So we had a 50% pullback. So hopefully we continue to accumulate here, and then we'll bounce off of this support line. All I got for you guys today, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.